Hello everybody, how we doing tonight? Hopefully that's coming through. Looks like we already got quite a few folks in tonight, which is great. Ford Smoking Pipes, Big Dave, Cogs and Sprockets, Ocho Ita, Cliff Higgins, good to see you guys. Piper on the 45, JMZ 256, Tony 513. A lot of numbers. I got to apologize for myself. I'm a bit run down today, guys, and this is not going to be a high energy. Not that I'm ever high energy, but Pipes and Bees, Signal Man Tony, Corvette Jim Piper, Philadelphia Piper, Piano Piper, and Monty 53 Piper. Good to see you guys. Paul the Piper, how you doing, Paul? Looking forward to talking to you in a bit. So I decided to do some yard work today. I got some raised beds that I've been trying to build forever, and the past several days it's been really cold. I mean, there was frost on the ground yesterday, and this morning I get up and I go and I get the stuff that I need and I start working on it, and it's 85 degrees by like 12 o'clock, and it was just unbelievably hot. So I did get, I won't go into all the details about my yard work. You're not that interested in it, but I did get a fair amount done. But I know I'm dehydrated, so I'm drinking ice water tonight, and that's it. And I am smoking my Nerup, and in the Nerup is Haunted Bookshop. Joffrey Feinberg, Battle Creek Piper, Magneto, Popo Piper. How you guys doing? Bona Piper, West Virginia Grizzly, Indy Piper, Uncle John, Armchair Piper. How you doing there, Ed? Boris the Piper, good to see you, buddy. Andrew Charter. Sorry you're having troubles there, Ford. Oh, Couch is here but cranky. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Hope you're feeling better soon. And Southwest Aficionado, good to see you, Micah. Jack Kurtz, hello, my friend. Takio Kimura, good to see you, buddy. Everett Young. Everett picked the right tobacco tonight. George Tiedemann's smoking some velvet. So yeah, I told you I wouldn't go into it, but I'll go into it. So I have this one. These are 8 by 4 foot raised beds, and I had one that there was a board rotting out in it, so I build them out of landscaping timber. So I had to pull out this board that was the second one down. So I had to take one off and then well, of course it wasn't the only one that was rotted, and the sides were rotted. So this wound up, I thought it was going to be like maybe a 1 hour job, and it wound up taking the entire day to get this thing put back together. And I had to do it today because it's going to rain tonight. And once I took this apart, all the soil would just wash out onto the lawn. So I couldn't delay it. I had to finish it. So I was pretty overheated by the time I finished up. And yeah, it's just, and it's apparently not going to be very warm at all tomorrow. I just picked the wrong day but I took a vacation day today thinking I could get this done and maybe enjoy some of the weekend. Oh well. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys are getting rain. 94 in southern Arizona. There you go. You make me feel better, Big Dave. I appreciate it. Tony, you're double bowling it. Yeah, Christian, it was an education in just how out of shape I've become over the past several months of sitting in my house and not going anywhere. Andrew, good to see you, buddy. Two for Friday. I look forward to that Monty 53. I'm curious about that warped tobacco. Shenandoah bootlegged. Medzelman 58. Oh, that's a great combination, Uncle John. I love smoking ready rubbed in my LL Bean pipe. And that's one of the LL Bean tobaccos was actually repackaged Edgeworth Ready Rubbed, which is what LL Ready Rubbed is closest to. So you got a little bit of history going on there. Holger Dansk Orange. Sounds good, Christian. Good evening, bro, you haha. Or is that brouhaha? That's a good idea, Chuck. Yeah, maybe I'll line the new ones. Oh, glad to hear that, Ochoita. You're one of the few that have actually lost weight during this. I shouldn't say that. Quite a few folks have taken on walking to both stay healthy but also to keep sane. Oh, Ford. Fire works well for removing wood. Yes, it does. And I envy you your stone raised beds. I will eventually get there. Hello, Smoking Kentucky Piper. Play nice, guys. Everett's picking a fight. Oh, I wish I had a bit of a. I wish I could drink something tonight. I would have really liked to have had like a highball or something with tonic water. I like that when it's a hot day. Or a very cold beer. But yeah, it just wouldn't work out well. I have enough trouble finding my tamper as is. If I start drinking when I'm dehydrated, I'll be tamping with my finger by the end of the night. WKR Piper, Desert Pine Piper, Road King Piper. I think I missed you guys earlier. Flatwater Monty, how you doing, buddy? PBR Street Gang. Rumbles of Thunder. Yeah, I think we're going to get some rain tonight. Yeah, I love a gin and tonic there, AA Pipe Man. Harold Wallace. Yardism. Good to see you, Chad. Brian S. Yeah, Couch, that's the problem. I actually go the other way. I often will drink just a lime and tonic in the summer. It's I think tonic water is really very refreshing when it's hot. I know a lot of people don't like it. Wheeled Piper 2 is going to have some old dark fired. That sounds good. Yeah, Pipeful, that's true. And if you do lose it, you got 9 backups. Kirk Maxon from Florida. Good to see you, Kirk. I had a mint julep once. I did not enjoy it. It was too sweet for me. Thanks, WKR Piper. I would enjoy the rain. Well, I'm glad you're making use of the stone, Ford. Yeah, if I had a ready supply of it, I'd do the same. Can't beat a stone structure over a wood structure for sure. JMZ 256 or 56, sorry. Mike Clark, how you doing? Big and burly. Yeah, you're welcome, Chad. And I got a couple tins of the rustic. I haven't opened them yet. I haven't opened them, and I haven't watched any reviews or read anything about it. I just wanted to try it. But I feel like I'm actually getting into the habit of getting taken in by these blend of the month sort of things once again. Ralph Laro, how you doing, buddy? A lot of drunks and a bottle of Everclear, that's for sure. Corvette Jim Piper, that's a beautiful pipe, Jim. I saw your video on the Ring of Fire. It's a really pretty pipe. Very unique. Yeah, Pipes and Bees, I think you did have something to do with it. Casey Hooligan, coming in from Kansas City. Good to see you, my friend. And Michael Schenkel, doing fine, doing just fine. All right, folks, so we should probably move on. We got a fair number of folks in attendance now. And we do have a guest tonight. Our guest tonight is one of our moderators, actually, Paul the Piper, who I really appreciate all of our mods, and I always note them down in the description, but I always forget to remind people to, go check out our mods channels, and if you're not subscribed to them, subscribe. So Paul is one of them, and we also have Yardism. Chad has been a big help, and Bonapiper, my friend Christian. So they've all been fantastic. But Paul was one of the first people to step up and say he would like to be on the show, which I really appreciate. And I don't remember exactly why scheduling got disrupted, and I have probably misidentified Paul's date more often than any other date I've ever misidentified in my life. So I owe him an apology for that. But he is, in fact, going to be on tonight. And looking forward to getting to know him a little bit better. We'll see where the chat goes, and of course, you guys will have the opportunity to ask any questions you want as we finish up our chat. So let me see if I can get Paul on the line here. Sorry, we're still a bit technically challenged here in the shop, but we're getting there. We're being drugged, yelling and screaming, kicking and screaming, that's the phrase, into the 20th century. So let's see if this works. Paul is unavailable. Paul, what did you do? If you're still out there, let me know, Paul. I'll try to call you again, or you can try to call me when you become available. Yes, PBR Street Gang, that is absolutely true. I am an analog guy living in a digital world. Vegetables on top. Here we go. Hello.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can. It's a little bit fuzzy for me. Let's see. Go ahead and talk. We'll see how it goes.
Is that any better?
Yeah, that does sound a lot better. Yep, that sounds much better.
Excellent. I hit the wrong button and cut you off before. My apologies.
Oh, it's no problem at all. We got it sorted. So how you doing this evening?
I'm good. I'm just relaxing here with a little Double H Kentucky in this Savinelli Hercules. And I was crapping myself. I was saying to everyone on Chad's Live, I was like, oh my God, you know. Because last week Tom was a great guest and he's hard to beat. But anyway, here I am.
Well, don't worry about that. Everybody's unique, and it's not a competition. Although I will grade you at the end of the night, but you don't have to worry about it. That was a joke, Paul. So it's we're having some issues with the network. Well, we'll see how this goes. All right,
Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, it just cut in and out for a moment there. Well, we'll just push through and see how it goes. So, what time is it for you right now?
It's 1:20 in the morning.
Wow. Well, I really.
But I'm night out. That's early for me. You know, so a bit of a vampire me. I'm
Yes.
always up late
Okay.
trying to catch a live, and it just so happens all the lives I watch are probably in the US. So yeah, our time difference means I have to be up late to catch all great guys anyway.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I've often thought about you staying up to moderate the live stream and how difficult that would be. I mean, I can't be up past like 11 o'clock, or I just fall asleep. So
No, I mean, sometimes I'll stay up, but I still have to be up at 6. But I'm used to getting lack of sleep anyway.
wow.
So I've been like that since birth. But yeah, I enjoy all the shows. And if it weren't for YTPC, I don't think, I would have anyone to associate pipe smoking with, because nobody I know smokes a pipe. So thank God for the YTPC.
Yeah, that is definitely something that we all have to be thankful for. It's replaced the brick and mortar pipe shop, which we unfortunately have lost, and gives us a chance to interact with pipe smokers.
It's a shame that, all you guys live across the pond. Somehow we must be able to meet in the middle. I'll get all you guys over here.
Well, we may show up, Paul, so be careful.
Well, that's all right. It's my house. It's an open house. You might have to put up with me walking around in my Tarzan pants, but that's not a problem.
So I wanted to ask you, how are things there?
They're all right. Obviously, like everywhere around the world, we've been on lockdown, which was a crap lockdown compared to other countries. They've eased the lockdown now, and it's been a week, and the virus is coming back again. So,
Oh, you are seeing a
yeah,
return? Yeah.
the repeat of it, yeah.
Oh, that's
So
unfortunate.
the R number, as they keep saying it is, I don't know if they say it in the US, but they say it's the R number. Has to be a certain amount. And it's gone back up again, but I kind of given up watching them on TV because, you got kind of three old codgers that really don't know much. Just telling you stuff that is just ridiculous. And to anyone that's got common sense, we can all see through it,
Yeah.
But they talk to you like you've just come out of nurse. Well, they do in the UK anyway.
Yeah, I've sort of gotten to the same place that you're describing. I don't bother with the news anymore. I pay enough attention to know what I'm allowed to do.
The new argument now is whether they want to reopen schools, because now the children are starting to actually die from something related to the COVID-19. And I work in a school. I'm a school keeper. Facilities management. I'm a bit like Matches used to, because that's what we used to talk about in the day. How big our key bunch was. Funny. And so I work 1 week and then I don't work. Someone else changes for a week and I go back for a week. But I don't think the schools are open until September anyway.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's just been lockdown. I get a haircut, so I look like Bigfoot. My hair's getting longer. I look like I've got horns in that picture.
Yeah, we're all getting there. The nice thing is the entire planet is going without a haircut right now, so you don't have to feel so too self-conscious about it when your hair sticks up.
It. I'm even getting fed up with shaving. I might join everyone and get a beard.
Yeah, I've certainly gotten a lot more lax with shaving. So, well, that I hope that normality is not too far away, or at least some return to it. I know it's been a rough ride for you guys.
I think the only reason that the virus is going down is because we're staying apart, and once we come back together, it's going to get back up again.
Yeah.
So unless we come out with some sort of thing, then we're going to have to keep up this social distancing forever, which is almost impossible in a school setting to have social distancing and to keep students in a class 2 meters apart in the size of the classrooms in England is near on impossible. So anyway, that's that.
It's not exactly the best. Yeah.
I think someone made a comment the other day because they said, you don't do many videos or many lives, you do a lot of like collage videos. And it's like, well, I'm not the best presenter, do you know what I mean? I have my own little way of putting a bit into it, but I'm not the best presenter. I get onto the camera and I I can't talk anything sense, and I just hate looking at myself when I'm on video for some reason. But I do the videos, and I used to be on a long time ago because about 7 years ago when I was under the name of Paul 1105. I was doing them then, and that was back in the days when the first two people I subscribed to, one was Old Pipe Pops, and the other one was Matt. The other one was, Mr. Kerslake. A lot of them have gone now.
Oh, yes, yes.
They were people. And I remember the night I subscribed to Old Pipe Pops, the next day he passed away.
Oh, gosh.
I've done a collage video for that, but, things happen in life and it all went pear-shaped and I lost all the page and anything. It just, but there you go. Sometimes you have to start again, don't you? That's life.
Yeah. Well, we go through those phases.
Yeah, it's great to hear, all the times I'm online and that. It's nice to hear your voice.
So one of the things I wanted to ask
Well,
you
on the
about.
phone.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, sure. Carry on. Sorry.
I think we got a bit of a delay, so we're talking over one another. So I'll apologize for that. But one of the things that I did want to ask you about was the collage videos that you referred to. I enjoy them.
Yeah.
I think they're very creative, and they must take you quite a bit of time to find those photos because you usually have. They're not just the run-of-the-mill photos that you run in all the time. You've got some pretty unique stuff that you put in there. So what is the sort of thought process behind that? What do you get out of doing that? And yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Um, well, it kind of suits me better, like I said, than presenting. I'm not kind of guy that goes and can explain tobaccos and that, because I'm kind of finding my own way that way as well. And there's enough information on tobaccos and what they're like anyway out there. And it's all good stuff, but I just find it easier. I just like enjoying it. I like the pictures. I like putting the video together. Some videos don't take long. Some of them only take me 10 minutes. Some of them, if I want to add effects, they'll take me longer. But like, I'm always looking for different editing tools or programs because a lot of them are expensive.
Yes.
And obviously, when you use the free ones, you don't get much than you would if you paid the subscription.
Yeah.
So, and I get great joy out of it. Looking at all the pictures, the vintage, the old stuff, the old tobacco tins, and then putting them in a video, and you can sit back. And loads of times I'll watch the videos, and I'm smoking a pipe to them. That's what I kind of, make them a bit longer sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially in lockdown. I'm hoping to give somebody something to watch, but I do it because I like it. You can't please everybody. There's some of the ones I've done where it was dedicated to women. I always get the thumbs down. I don't know whether people don't like the fact that women have pipes, but it's not just about men in the YTPC. There's also women,
Right.
And I do things. I try and be open-minded when I put my videos together. I include everybody. And I enjoy doing them. So I find, like I said, I'm not the world's best presenter. Some of you, like yourself, like Chad, like Briar Blues, Simon, like a lot of you are great talking that way. But for me, I kind of get a bit of stage fright. I can't talk anymore, so I end up babbling on about crap. And tonight I was well nervous about coming on.
Oh, well.
As well.
I hope you're feeling better
that's
about
just
it.
me, No, I'm great. I love talking to you guys. I love coming online. Like I said, if I didn't come on to YouTube with you guys, I wouldn't have anyone to associate with the hobby I do.
Right.
Like I said, it was just something I was drawn to, even when I was young, because obviously, I think it was Sherlock Holmes, actually. I used to start watching, and I just like the fact of a pipe, and it's been in my head, drawn to it, maybe in a past life. I might have been smoking a pipe, but then I eventually got one, and all I knew about pipe tobacco was Gold Block, Clan, St. Bruno, and Condor. That's all I knew in the beginning. I didn't know how much of a range there was of tobaccos. But now it seems like my taste is, I want to try that. But none of what I want to try I can get in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a bit sad,
Yeah, well.
Apart from Philadelphia, he sent me some Haunted Bookshop, which was great, fantastic.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I guess it is okay to trade as long as you don't get caught, right? Is that the way it works? Like if they open it, they destroy it?
Well, obviously, when he sent it from America, everyone was saying you might get hit with this whatever bill. It's only a little, it was like 2 ounces maybe, It took over 4 weeks to get here. And I don't know if that was because of the virus thing or whatever, but when he got here, it had federal tape all over it, and God knows, as if, might have been a bag of cannabis or something. But eventually got here, and it was like, wow, I got a haunted bookshop. But other people in the UK seem to get it, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know no pipe smokers apart from the people that are on YTPC.
Right. Yeah, and that certainly is one of the benefits of being in this community, is that you can sample things. I mean, I've had folks in other countries send me things that I would have never been able to try. And here in the States, we're very fortunate in the selection we've got, but there are quite a few that we can't. Like Condor is one that we can't get unless we have somebody slip it across the border to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of Condor.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like, probably all the time I'm always smoking to like Black Twist. Or now I'm kind of mixing the brown and black twist together. I kind of got this thing for like strong tobacco, and if I can get it stronger, the better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my bugs. I do like some aromatic tobacco, but I find them a bit weak.
Yeah. So when you say strong,
that's just my.
Sure. So when you say strong, are you referring to the flavor, or are you referring to the nicotine, or both?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah, both. Like the strong flavour, the twists. Like, I don't know. Some people, I don't know. I kind of get an iodine, taste from the Black Twist.
Yeah.
Maybe not the Kindle one, but the one you get, the Irish Black Twist.
Is that the XX?
I don't know. That's the XX,
yeah.
And you can get the other one. Like you can get the brown twist and black Irish twist. I just like the strong tobacco. I like strong snuff. I like the odd cigar, but I'm not the biggest cigar smoker. I don't really know much about cigars. So I just, I enjoy what I like, and I like bourbon, which I'm having now.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a big glass of that before I came on, and I'm having a big glass now.
So do you drink that straight, or do you put a mixer with it?
No, it's straight.
Mm-hmm.
No ice.
No ice?
No ice. I like it how it is. I like it to be a bit warm. Sometimes I put it in a brandy glass, and I'll kind of heat the bottom over a candle, and I'll have it warm, and it just seems to be really nice.
Just bring out some of those aromatic qualities.
Your personality.
Right.
Yeah. I enjoy doing the moderating. I enjoy chatting to them. I enjoy all the lives.
Yeah,
and all the videos. But sometimes it gets to the point where obviously life can get busy, and it's like trying to catch up on everyone's videos can be sometimes impossible. I'd have to be up for like 38 hours straight.
Yes.
I'm doing my best. But yeah.
I've seen people get very upset about not being able to watch everything, and I knew at least one presenter that stopped presenting because he didn't feel like he was being fair because he wasn't watching, and it's just not
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
The more people that subscribe to you, or the more people you used to subscribe to,
yes,
you try. You're trying to build a friendship. Well, at first, it just everyone watching can see we all talk to each other on a quite relaxed basis. But you kind of put up watch everybody else, and if you don't, you kind of start feeling guilty.
Right.
And some people might go into a deep depression about that, but you can only watch what you can watch, and no point beating yourself up about it. If you can't watch something, you can't watch it.
Right.
But that's why I prefer the lives, because everybody's there. You can all be there at the same time.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to interact with more than just the
So yeah,
presenter. Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
more than just a video. Because years ago, when you used to come on, yeah, that was the only way of interacting with food. There wasn't no bit at the top chatting.
Mm-hmm.
Got to do lives about 8 years ago.
Well, you've done a few recently, haven't you? I mean, I know I've seen at least one or two.
Don't have a couple of lives, but like I said, I just ended up sitting on there talking, grabbing opinions. It's like, I don't know. What can I say? When you're looking at the computer, all I can see is myself.
Right, right.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's showing the image. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm chatting to myself.
Yeah.
And then I forget to comment, and I'm like, I get lost. And yeah, maybe I haven't been doing it long enough, you know. But you know, some people out there that just seem to be able to just sit there and they're just fantastic at it. But you know, maybe I just need to build up some confidence and try a few more.
Yeah.
But I like the Zoom one as well because you can all see each other's faces. I'm a big fan of seeing someone's face when I'm chatting.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I can see you because you're on my computer at the same time I'm chatting, so it's just like chatting to you in the same room. But I've got the sound turned down, so there's no interference.
Right, right. Yeah, I haven't tried any of the Zoom. I've watched the Zooms, the replays of them, but I haven't tried any of them myself yet. Looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Fun in the way that, when everyone's in the room, you can see each other, like talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
See who you're talking to. Which I like. Which I like. But also I like chatting on the lives as well. You get out of it. Sorry, dog invasion.
Sorry, I didn't get that last bit.
But no, it's alright, it's a dog.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to kill the cat tonight. They're in a bit of a domestic.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There we go, sorted.
It's one of the benefits of being in the basement.
What time is it you are?
Sorry?
What time is it where you are?
It is about 8:40, almost 8:40. PM.
I think we have got a bit of a lag or something, so if I speak over you, it's not because I'm being rude.
Same here, Paul. It's happening here too.
But it's been fantastic talking to you, and
yeah, you as well.
It's been nice. Like I said, hopefully it wasn't that bad for everyone.
No, it's been great. It's been absolutely great. Would you be okay to take some questions from the guys in the chat?
Hey, fire away.
Okay.
Fire away.
Any of you have questions for Paul?
Chad was trying to get people to get 80 questions up.
So I did see one earlier. Someone was asking where you were. Do you want to let us know? I know you're in the UK, but what part and so on?
I'm in London, North London, UK.
North London.
Actually, 5 minutes away from the Emirates Stadium, the Arsenal Stadium, football stadium.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm not a fan, but near there.
Well, it's a geographic location.
Yeah, almost. Well, just a city, so. My biggest disappointment with tobacco. Was pleasure. Sorry, I'm giving you bad reviews, but that tastes. No, actually, sorry. The worst tobacco I've had is Sparrow. It smokes like hay.
Sparrow.
In fact, I think it is hay. I think you could feed it to your horse. or Camel. It is terrible. Look it up. It's sparrow tobacco. It's actually like smoking dead birds.
Oh,
I thought I had a dead sparrow in my pipe. It was terrible.
We'll
My
try to.
favourite blend.
Yes.
My favourite blend is the black and brown twists, I have to say.
Black
And
and brown
some of
twist.
the Gareth Hogarth flakes, like Rich Dark Flake. I like McBaron's Double H Kentucky, Double H Old Dark Fire, along that line.
Okay.
My favourite pipe is my Savinelli Hercules 121EX.
Okay. That's
It's quite a big pipe and lasts quite a while, so.
Yeah, those are nice pipes. Is Savinelli Pipes and Bees is asking what's your favorite pipe brand and why?
Favourite pipe brand? Do I have a favourite pipe brand? I suppose, gosh, I've got Parkers, I've got DVDs, I've got vintage pipes. Actually, I'm lighting up a bowl in a K-Woody Merit at the moment,
Ah,
which is a nice pipe that I got. But do I have a favourite maker pipe? I suppose the Savinelli at the moment.
so Desert Pine Piper's asking funniest moment with a pipe.
Ah, crap. Funniest moment with a pipe. Must have been when I started first. Yeah, 2 years ago. And I remember sitting on my bed and lighting a pipe full of some Bruno. And I don't know, I think because as a cigarette smoker, which I was, you learn some bad habits, and I think I leant back to chill out on the pillow and got a face full of pipe ash out of the pipe because I forgot I had the pipe in my mouth.
Oh no.
Yeah, it hurt. Well, it did my eyes anyway. And I laid back on the pillow and forgot about I had the pipe. And that might have been after a couple of bourbons or more. But nevertheless, that was not a great experience.
No, that would. That
And
would
also,
not be.
I've tried to restore 2 pipes recently off eBay. And I was using that tool, that metal tool with the screw bit in the top, you know, the reamer.
Mm-hmm.
And I went too far and smashed both the bowls, just cracked open.
Oh no.
So yeah, I'm learning. Sometimes the hard way.
Well, you learn from mistakes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. You want to weigh in on Beatles versus Rolling Stones?
Beatles versus Rolling Stones. Oh, God. Actually, I prefer the Rolling Stones.
There you go.
If I could choose, I would pick the Rolling Stones. I like the Beatles, but I prefer the Rolling Stones. They're, you know, a bit more oomph.
So you already mentioned how difficult it is to get American blends.
No, we don't. No, I've seen. I went on a site, saw a site where I think you get half and half and Carter Hall packets, but the site looked like it was kind of fake. So I've never. But no, the only one I got was from Philadelphia Piper, which was the Hall bookshop.
Mm-hmm.
You get one a few years ago from somebody, which was called Pancakes, and it actually tasted like pancakes. It was so sweet. I've never tasted tobacco since, and I've never seen anyone have it since either.
Huh. That's interesting.
Favourite aromatic blend, I would probably say Solani Festival.
Okay, I actually haven't had that one, but
It's lovely.
someone's asking about a favorite coffee blend. Are you a coffee drinker? We're having some network connection problems. We'll see.
Are you there?
Yeah, there you go. You dropped out for a moment there. I don't know if you heard the question. Someone's asking about a favorite coffee. Are you a coffee drinker? I think we might have lost Paul. Are you there, Paul? Well, hopefully you're watching the stream. I'm afraid that we've lost the connection with you through Skype. So it's 8:45, so I think you've done enough. Oh, here we go. Hello.
So, God knows what happened there.
Yeah, it looked like
Bloody signal.
we lost the network connection somehow, and then you just dropped. But that's fine. I was actually just saying that we could tie up if you wanted to. But
Yeah, that's great. If that's all the questions done, it's been wonderful.
yeah, and I mean, I'm sure I missed a few questions, but it was great fun talking to you, and I think
Yeah, it's been great fun talking to you, Mike. Yeah, like I said, I'll always be on time for the moderation.
absolutely.
Thank you. I tried my best.
You did fantastic, Paul. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. And everyone, please keep safe. Oh, could I just give one shout out a second?
Sure.
Just wanted everyone to, I don't know if you know, you probably know Robert Balson. He sometimes pops up in the chat. Well, he had a heart attack. I think he's getting better, but if everyone just wish him well, that'd be great.
Okay.
And everyone, keep yourselves safe and your families, and love you all.
Thanks, Paul. Much appreciated. We'll give Robert Paulson a shout out. He is on YouTube.
Yeah, he comes in the chat sometimes.
Okay.
Robert Dalton, so I'm sure if you don't know him, go and give him a check out. He's a lovely guy.
Okay. Well, we'll do that, and I'll put links down below for folks to go and check him out and wish him all the best as he's recovering.
Okay, Mike.
All right. You take care now. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, and be well, keep safe. Take care.
All right. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Oh, sorry about the technical difficulties there, guys, but I think it was an interesting talk regardless. It's always great, I think, just to get to know people. And, Paul's someone that I knew through the live streams. I knew because of his moderating, but it was just nice talking to him for a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yes, Piano Piper, this is a 311. Oop, sorry about that. Andrew Charter, glad you enjoyed your first live stream. Yes, we are going through the apostles, aren't we? So I think you're stuck with me solo next week. And the week after that, I'm fairly certain is going to be Temper Tantrum. So that'll be a really interesting chat, I'm sure. Everett's asking what I'm smoking. It's the Amphora Burley, which is very nice stuff. Daniel Tobias, you wanna be a guest on the live stream? If so, love to have you. Oh, Paul, you did fantastic. You don't have to have a panic attack. You did great. Thank you, Cogs and Sprockets. Yeah, Everett, the Burley's really good. It's definitely reminiscent of the H&H or HH Burley Flake. Great, Daniel. Well, if you don't mind, just get in touch with me at my Gmail, canerodpiper@gmail.com, and we'll get you scheduled. Oh, Chad, that'd be great. I'll send you an email. We'll see if we can make next week work. That'd be a lot of fun if we had Chad on next week. It's Amphora Burley. What's the actual Burley blend? Tim, glad you. So you were able to get the pipe cleaner out, but you still couldn't save the stem. That's unfortunate. Tim asked me a question on Instagram about having he had a pipe with a pipe cleaner stuck in the stem, broken off at both ends, and that's always difficult. What's that compared to? Would you say it's similar to half and half a quarter hole? Tony, you asking about the Amphora Burley? It's the closest thing I can compare it to is the HH Burley Flake. It's definitely more. It's a deeper flavor than either Carter Hall or half and half. They're just very different beasts. Good to hear it, Tim. It was a St. Chad. Bonapiper really wants to keep this apostle thing going. It's a broken flake, Todd. It's I'll show you. So it's, I don't know if you can see that. It's always a challenge to try to show these things. So it could stand a little bit of rubbing, but I think, in fact, I'm convinced that this is the HH Burley Flake, the parts that didn't make it into the tins. You know, the ends, the bits and pieces, the broken flakes. Very, very similar flavor. Might have a bit of that McBaron topping that is not on the HH Burley Flake, but probably humectant just to keep it in the pouch. But it's good stuff. For the price, it's very good. Yeah, Andrew, that's the truth. Elvis TCB, have a good evening, buddy. Larson DX is saying Amphora Original is not on sale in Europe. I'm surprised because I thought for a long time you could only get Amphora Original in Europe. So did they start selling it in the US and stop selling it there? That is pricey, Piano Piper. I think I get it from Smoking Pipes for like, it was like $4 a pouch. Oh, so you get the full, that's the aromatic? No, Andrew, it's been too cold for me. He's asking about trout fishing. I wanted to go, and then we immediately started getting these really cold mornings. We had frost and ice, and then today, 85 degrees. Very strange weather. Ralph Laura is asking tin or bulk with regard to Haunted Bookshop. I don't think I've ever had Haunted Bookshop in a tin. I prefer bulk tobacco just because I smoke so much of it. So I try, and it's a lot cheaper to buy at bulk, even though it's the same tobacco. What I will say is that Haunted Bookshop and a lot of the Cornell and Deal blends, they're pretty much blended on demand. So you get a fairly young blend when you get it in bulk, and sometimes it takes a couple of weeks to a month for it to really meld. And I would assume that that's not the case in tins. But I haven't had Haunted Bookshop in a tin. Ken Lockwood Gorge, that's in New Jersey, right, Andrew? I've been there. Didn't do very well there. And that was years ago. Yeah, climate indecision. You got it, Pipes and Bees. Pipeful. I'm glad you're enjoying that. I refurbished a Marksman for Andrew, and he's happy with it, which makes me happy. Christian's asking if the trout are done mating. They actually mate in the fall usually. It is good right out of the mailbox, Chad. That's how I usually smoke mine. But it does improve after a little while in a jar. Yeah, Andrew, it appeared, I was surprised because I actually thought we weren't allowed to go fishing in Pennsylvania, but I was wrong about that. And it appears like they have done their regular stocking. They did not. So what they would usually do is they'd stock over several days, and instead they just had one day where they stocked a particular stream. But by and large, the same number of fish have gone in. PBR Street Gang, I believe it's $95. You have to spend at Smoking Pipes to get free shipping. Luke Reisner, good to see you, buddy. Yes, Mike Clark, I am making stems for folks. I'm way behind. I've got about 12 pipes now that I'm working on. So if you send me a pipe, it's going to be a month or two before I can get to it. But what I do is, as a new pipe comes in, I put it in line and I just work through them in a series. So if you're interested, drop me an email at canerodpiper@gmail.com. No, Todd, I don't think LL Bean is making the pipe tobacco anymore. Joffrey Feinberg is asking, what's my favorite English and or Balkan? I really don't like Englishes very much. I used to smoke an English called Number 10 Downing Street from Lane Limited, but they stopped making it. And I've just kind of lost my taste for Latakia. What I do enjoy a couple like, what is the Star of the East from Cornell and Deal is very good. It's a light English. And I'll occasionally have a bowl of that. Cliff is doing some advertising for my I'm not actually going to, well, I'll make a camo stem if somebody wants to commission one, but I'm not making any more batches of them. Thanks, Corvette Jim. I'll get to them in that line. That's the only way I can keep things straight. Burbia Balkan. Andrew says it's good stuff. No, it doesn't come with a mask, Christian. I went over to Home Depot. I assume Home Depot is everywhere, but a big box hardware store today. And you have to wear a mask to go into any stores here in Pennsylvania. And I have one that I keep in the car that I put on before I go into the store. And I seriously considered putting a hole in it to be able to smoke a pipe, but kind of defeats the purpose of the thing. I don't wear it when I drive. If I wore it when I drove, I would actually do it. I'd have a separate mask to go in the stores with, because I don't want to flaunt the thing. I do think it's worth wearing the mask these days, but it would be kind of funny to see somebody with a pipe sticking out of one of those. Oh, Larson DX, I'm glad you liked that. That works really well, the PVC pipe and hockey pucks. I forget who suggested hockey pucks, because I was trying to use wooden discs, and the hockey pucks are just perfect for pressing tobacco. Paul's been wearing masks for years in banks. I wonder if bank robbers are upset about this because they have to come up with another thing to do. I also thought about trying to get one of those Lone Ranger masks and wear that to a store and just see if I can get away with it. Andrew's asking about integral tenons versus Delrin. So it depends. If the pipe is an ebonite stem pipe, I prefer an integral tenon. And the reason I like it is that, as time passes and you get expansion and contraction and whatnot, you're going to wind up with a loose tenon, and you can fix that in ebonite. You can't fix that in Delrin. But if it's an acrylic stem, I really think Delrin is a better choice, because acrylic just cracks so easily. And I fixed a lot of acrylic stems with broken tenons. Yeah, Cliff, we use those we call them N95s. I don't know if KN95 is different from N95, but I use those in my job all the time, and they are uncomfortable. Peterson standard system, anything to look out for? So that's a good question, Larson DX. The Peterson, they have that well, in the system pipes have a well in the shank, and it's really important to clean that out after every. When you're cleaning the pipe, when you're done with the pipe and you're going to put it away, take the stem off, bend the pipe cleaner in half, and sort of scrub out that well, because if that, you get the moisture condensing in there, and if that sits there, it's going to start to sour the pipe. Yeah, and don't tilt them before you do that. That's a good point. Bone stems, Paul, are you asking about stems made of bone, or are you asking about stems for bone pipes? Daniel Tobias, I do as little as possible. Thank you, Andrew. I'm glad you enjoy them. Daniel, I'm a research scientist. I don't really like to talk about it on YouTube too much. Just worlds colliding and all that stuff. Hey, Joffrey, you have a good evening too. Todd, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Somebody already done that. We've seen that on YouTube. You've said that a couple times, and I don't know what it's referring to. Yeah, Paul, I've seen a couple of bone stems. They're pretty rare, and they're also pretty fragile. So I don't think anybody's making pipes with bone stems. I know ROP is still making them with horn. Oh, Couch, I didn't know that. That's we gotta talk sometime. Yeah, Tony, it is fun. I never feel like I'm, dreading going to work. It's definitely a good life. I'm very fortunate. All right, Piano Piper, good to see you. Yeah, physics is cool. My background is biology. I like physics. It's sort of been a hobby of mine for a long time. I know that's a really geeky hobby to have, but the kind of biology I do is very physically based. I don't mind saying I'm a neuroscientist, so I work on the electrical signaling of the brain. So there's a lot of physics embedded in that. Yeah, those documentaries are fantastic. I love that, like all that multi-universe stuff and the weird quantum effects and all that stuff, black holes. It's really pushing the boundaries of what we know, and I just think it's fun to think that. Pain as well, Mike. Sure. Math-free physics. All right, I'm Armchair Piper. Good to see you tonight. Oh, PBR Street Gang, I think you got it screwed on right. Oh, shark brains. That's pretty cool, Daniel. Married men are all doing research on pain. Yes. Hey, Cody. Good to see you, Groovin' Piper. Oh, Takia, we need to talk at some point, too. My other hobby when I was in college was comparative religion. Oh, thanks, Andrew. I'm glad you enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Mike over at the Pipe and Tamper, he's and I really enjoyed that. Military history, that's a fascinating area, Fireman Piper. Corbett Jim's a research psychic. That's impressive, Jim. Yeah, PBR Street Gang, I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't gonna bring up your issue with the Patriots, but hey, Sea Smoke Pipes, good to see you. Fishwife Piper also studied comparative religion. It's fascinating stuff. Cornholio, good to see you. Oh, so Rop is still making the horn stems. That's good to know there, Tim. Thank you. And yeah, it definitely would be a sort of a novelty. It looks like the NFL is planning a season, Takio. They seem to think they're going to get a full season in. Baseball, I'm not too sure about because now the players and the owners are starting to argue over money, and that's not going to end well. Hey, Full Donald, good to see you. Yeah, Tony, I miss baseball a lot. I got poltergeist, yeah. It's my wife and dogs upstairs. I haven't had any experience with them, Dallas. Anybody else want to weigh in on how bone... Are you talking about bone stems? I've seen them. I haven't smoked them. All right, Andrew Charter. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Oh, Prussian-made 1914 bone pipe. That's cool, Jim. So, Jim, is the whole pipe made of bone, or is it the stem that's made of bone? Yes, Daniel, I spend a lot of time down in the basement. Yeah, baseball highlights on YouTube. That's another. It's a saving grace, I guess. Is anybody watching the Korean baseball? I tried to watch it, and it just was. It just made me miss baseball more. Gotcha, Daniel. Oh, the pipe is. That's cool, Jim. That's really cool. Thank you, Meerschaum Mountaineer. Glad you could join us. Paul, I've seen consistently good comments about your appearance and quite a few remarks that your accent was wonderful. So you should be proud of the accent. And Fishwife Piper has 2 pipes with bowls made of bone. That's really cool. I've not seen those. I don't have any experience with amber stems, Tony. Can't help you there. Well, I appreciate anybody watching the replay there, Cornholio. Yeah, Daniel, I didn't see a lot of differences. It's just that it wasn't, I understood the game. It was just that it wasn't the teams and the players that I'm used to watching, so it just kind of made me miss the teams and players that I'm used to watching. Is that what it's called in Japan, Takio? I know baseball's very big there. Yeah. Tony's asking if I have a favorite book I like to read. I read a lot, Tony, and I can't say that I have one, favorite author. I read a lot, and I read a lot of nonfiction, but I do read some fiction. Right now, I'm reading Earl Stanley Gardner because I'm a big Perry Mason fan, and I've always wanted to read the books that inspired the show, and I've had a chance to do that recently, so that's been fun. So that's how it's pronounced. Gotcha, Takio. Thank you. Montreal Expos. Daniel, you and Christian should have some stuff to talk about. Wow, the glass must have reflected the light there. I just saw the screen kind of flare out. Thunder Below by Eugene Falky. I'll look into that there, Daniel. Thank you. Yeah, there's going to be NASCAR this weekend, and apparently they're going to be putting, instead of the drivers' names, they're going to have the names of healthcare workers, which is kind of nice. You saw the light, Tony? Maybe it's that poltergeist that Paul was pointing out. UFO in the basement, yeah. No, I think because I've got a couple of lights kind of pointed on me, otherwise it gets really dim over here. And I think the glass just caught it. Yeah, the complete Sherlock Holmes is always a favorite there, Sea Smoke Pipes. I've probably read that through at least 10 times. Let's see, Tim is asking, big question, advice on contrast staining, especially on rustic and sandblasted pipes. So it's difficult to do contrast staining on rustic or sandblasted pipes just because you've got the rustication or sandblasting that is either covering or accentuating the grain, and the contrast stain is there to bring out the grain. So I don't think that works too well. I could tell you a lot about contrast staining on smooth pipes, but not rusticated or sandblasted. Sorry. Philadelphia Piper, that would probably not be a good day. Full Doddle's asking if you should profile edge all the exposed edges in a custom pipe cabinet. I mean, you certainly don't want to have a sharp edge because, you don't want to bang your pipe into a sharp edge or maybe scratch a stem. I usually don't have any sharp edges on any furniture that I build. I don't necessarily do a full round over, but I'll at least, run a plane along the edge and just break it so that it's not sharp. I hope that helps. All right, Jim, you go enjoy that pizza. 673 filled with half and half. Sounds good, Chuck. Sure thing, Tim. Anytime. Happy to answer questions on Instagram or by email. All right, Daniel, you have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Ozzie Smith doing backflips in the 80s. Yeah. What time we got? Yeah. I need to build a pipe cabinet. I think I've talked about this before. Got to get my shop back together. Big plans for this weekend. Thanks for asking, Tony. I did want to, and I almost forgot to say this. We got a live stream tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, so 4 hours earlier than this one. And that's my monthly giveaway live stream, just a way of thanking anybody that cares to watch me. We're also holding a raffle to, if you watch the bamboo shank pipe restumbling series that I had, the person that I did that work for is a priest in New York, and his church is the social ministries are essentially going bankrupt, and one of the ministries is the St. Vincent de Paul Society, which really helps out the poorest of the poor in the community, and those guys are having a lot of issues with all the COVID stuff going on. So I wanted to try to raise some money, so I made a church warden, and I'm raffling that off. If you want, you go back and look at those videos. I just put a post up about it today, I think, and there's instructions on how you can buy raffle tickets. They're $5 each, but we'll be drawing the winner tomorrow around 4 p.m. You're waiting for my pipe cabinet? You might have to wait a long time, Christian. The cutoff for the raffle is at midnight tonight, Tim. So you can send by PayPal $5. At this point, it's too late to send a check. So $5 per chance, and the PayPal is canerodpiper@gmail.com. Yes, you are, Christian. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Takio. I mean, what I'm imagining building is not going to be that different, really, from a china cabinet. I want to have something with glass doors in it, and I'll probably get some UV blocking glass because the UV is bad for the ebonite. I don't know. I've been thinking about it for years, and I have not done anything to start, so it's not like this is going to be happening too soon. Well, folks, I am winding down here. This pipe is done, and I had a long day today, and I'm feeling a bit tired. So I think I'll. Yes, Christian, I do know that. Christian's been teasing me about counting the number of pipes I have. Tony, I'm glad you liked it. Thank you so much. All right, folks, I'm gonna draw this to a close. Thank you all for tuning in. I had a great time. Really enjoyed the chat. Really enjoyed talking to Paul. And tune in next week. We'll see what happens. It might be me solo, but maybe we'll have a guest. And you all take care. I hope to catch you tomorrow at 4 o'clock for the Saturday live stream. And otherwise, have a great weekend. Bye, all.